because my feeling, oh, hi
Oh.
everybody, it's Linda G. We were just busy gossiping. I was just talking about, we were just talking about the Elon, if you guys, what was the date of that video you did?
I
April,
believe April 24th.
and I just watched it and it pretty much hit it on the head about what was going to happen with Elon having to leave. You
Yeah.
even said going to a different country.
Yeah, so on that video, so that was April, so a month and a half ago, roughly. It was very clear like he would leave the White House, definitely the clash with Trump. But there's more in that video where I feel like he would there was leaving the country, the business, also his whole business, the money aspect going in shambles, and then some serious health issues as well. And at
That's right.
first, you think more Trump, but given, his
His use of
what he's doing, his
debilitating
use
drugs.
of,
Yeah.
then I feel, and the stress level, and I feel like this is very possible yet to
Right.
happen. But like we were chatting before the show, I knew that it was showing very clearly the clash with Trump, but I think the time of it was so brutal, so sudden that we got, I feel a bit surprised at how
Well,
early that happened.
Elon couldn't shut up. He just kept going.
No.
He tried to call for the president this morning, and Trump refused his calls. And by the way, you guys, this is Nathe. I'll post his information below. I've had a lot of people have had readings with him, and they love them. And what else
Thank
do
you.
you do besides personal readings?
Well, I also do classes, and so far I have offered, it's still available on demand, Tarot and Lenormand classes, but next Saturday, so you can attend the class live, or get it on replay. I do a tea leaf reading class, and that would be on Trump's
Oh, when
birthday.
is that? Next Saturday?
Yes, yes.
I think
And I
I'll join up.
believe
I was always fascinated with the tea leaves.
Yes, I actually have on my channel a tea leaf reading that I've done on Trump. So if you want to see that, I you can watch that. And I also offer, this is new in June. This is kind of the tea leaf, tea, coffee, or scrying, any kind of that. I think it's pretty fun. It's totally different from the cards. So that's next week, next Saturday.
Except I'm going out of town pretty soon, so I don't know. But listen,
Well, you can have the replay if you
I can
want
replay
just
it.
the
Good.
the
I think I'll
download
do
the
that and
download.
watch it
Yeah,
at my
yes,
leisure.
yes.
Um, we were talking about Elon Musk, and I also predicted that him and Trump would have a falling out and that he would exit stage left. But in your reading, you said you definitely see him going to a foreign country. I don't think, my feeling is he's not going to go on his site and talk about the secrets. He's rethinking now. He's going to quietly release them to media people.
Yes,
They
I
said he
was
has
getting that as
69
well.
pictures of Trump with young girls.
That was what we were texting yesterday, and for me, the bombshell was that he would not have been on the Epstein files. That would have been a real bombshell because we've seen photos. So I think it's not so much that he's in the files, of course, but to what extent,
Yeah. Well,
how
this is
many,
the
and
other. Here's the other thing I wanted to ask you. I think Trump doesn't want any of the Doge people in there.
no. I think he also realized like the bad reputation that the country got with Doge and the federal workers who lost their job and the mess that it was because I don't know if you saw some reports of even that the location where they were after they left they found rats, they found it was just
Oh,
a
they tried to get back in
huge,
their building and they just
yes,
demolished
and
it.
it was so gross.
But
It
why?
was really bad.
Why do
I
that?
think
It's
they
like
were
children.
I know. And there was marijuana everywhere. There was, I mean, yes, there are reports on how messy, the department has been. So I Trump, I believe, is feeling more pressure, obviously, right now. And then we'll talk about the summer and the fall where there will be even more pressure because of tariffs and the economy. But he's starting to get concerned about, how people feel about him, his image.
I didn't think he cared, I'll be honest with you.
Well, his polls do matter to him.
Well, this big, beautiful thing is really cutting,
I
chopping it
know.
up.
That's true. That's
And the
true.
JD Vance has the worst numbers of all of them.
And do you feel, Linda, that at some point JD Vance is the next one that's going to clash with Trump?
No, but I think he'll be stand in for Trump.
Yeah.
He'll be a president temporarily, but he's enough. People will hate him worse
Oh, yeah.
because uh, Elon Musk is talking about, hey, let's get a new, like he doesn't want Democrat or Republican. He wants to start a new, whatever. I think everything he starts falls through. I don't see anything good happening, but I see him leaking.
Yes. Information. I mean, if you look at the scale, Musk has the advantage. He knows so much.
Yes,
And so he has the advantage and he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't have to leak himself. He can leak to other people who can leak.
that's what I'm feeling. And I think the first hit will be all security clearances are pulled from Elon and the Doge.
Yeah.
Remember, he even gave him a gold key to the White House. Good luck trying to use that key.
I know. I'm curious, Linda, what you think triggered this whole thing? Is this obviously so there were some issue with the bill where, they stopped giving the benefits to the electric vehicle and he was upset with that.
He was really
But
upset with
they're
that.
upset with that. So is that the main thing, or it really cared about the budget? I felt like that was really the trigger was the benefits with the electric vehicle.
That was it. That's what it. Trump even said. That's one thing he told the truth about. At first he had heard of this bill and he knew what the bill, but it had that in there. And then they had to remove it. And he said when they removed it, he went batshit
Yes,
crazy
lost it. And that was the catalyst for the clash.
because he doesn't. He's a child, so he got
Yes,
neener, and started talking trash. And hey, you guys, if it wasn't for me, he would have never been president. We're going to find out more about that too.
yes. And he also said the truth will come out. That was on the Epstein files. And so he knows, like, he knows a lot. And Trump was the usual. He's never careful of what he's talking. He just can't stop talking. And he
Hmm.
gets in trouble every single time, like during the first Trump, where people were recording, taking notes.
He's such an idiot. And Joanne asked, these ICE enforcers seem to not use any protocol like warrants. Are these men trained or are they hired by the Trump administration?
Well, the training, there's no real training. I feel
These
like the
are
Trump
all Proud
administration,
Boys.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, there's no training.
No, but
No,
our US military won't get involved. The police do come in, but
no,
they're all
no.
bad boys, love Trump. But he's ruining people's lives. So
Did you see? I saw that in San Diego there were like people revolting against ICE going to a restaurant. Have you seen that video? That was really fascinating.
they all got up.
Yes, there was a title, "Ice Melting."
Yeah, well, and also they didn't want to challenge them because everybody had phones. It helps with the phones.
Yes, yes.
But they're grabbing people that are actual citizens. It just doesn't make sense.
That's why,
So
like, the lack of training, I mean, they don't do due process. They don't follow any rules. And
now,
after that, they get into legal,
well, they
challenges.
get a little extra money if they get somebody. Remember, they were
Yes.
getting a
Yes.
little change. But on the Elon again, were you feeling anything coming up in the future,
In
near
terms of
future?
releasing information or just fighting.
I,
My,
I
I,
see him backing off from fighting, but I see him spilling the beans.
I see that. And I also, yesterday, one of the hits that I was getting is that I see him using some of his money to select candidates in Republican primaries to go against Trump's candidates.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to be easily dismissed because everybody's going to hate any candidate that voted for this bill.
I know.
Their names are on a list.
I know. So it doesn't really matter which candidate of
Right. But
Trump or Musk, it's the same. Yes.
oh, and the
But I think,
Republicans are all offended because everybody hated Musk, and suddenly the Democrats are totally into him. They just want him to spill the beans.
of course, it's like we've been waiting for some. I mean, I think it just because it hurt Trump so much that it felt good because we've been waiting for that for a while.
Yeah, but now he doesn't want to deal with a drug addict. The guy was so high on ketamine during the when the rallies, he couldn't even see straight. He knew he was
The
on drugs.
campaign, I mean, they show some footage where, like with his hands up there, the crazy behavior. I mean,
This could be AI though. I don't take me to the bank on this, but it was a Donald Trump uh text message, whatever he does on his True Social, and it said that was a salute, a
oh yeah.
Nazi
The,
salute.
so,
Did he actually say
well,
that, or
I think it was a form of, like there were different kinds within that, type. And it was not necessarily the actual Nazi salute, but it was like similar to like extreme rights,
yeah? Well,
So
I
yeah, I
just
mean,
really think the first thing that's going to happen, and we'll hear about it in the grapevine, is behind closed doors, like Pam Bondi's already working on pulling all their security clearances.
yeah.
And
Pam Bondi's Pam Bondi is also the one that holds the Epstein files. She's been key for that purpose.
see, she's the type that would accidentally cause a fire and say they were all destroyed. But somebody has
Yes,
copies. I think he has copies. I think Elon has copies.
yes, you're right. And I felt like he took documentation on a lot of things when
Right,
he
but
was
I
at the
think
White
this
House.
woman, the woman that worked, Giselle, what's her name? Maxine
Uh, uh, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine. I think she has paperwork in a foreign country under lock and key. But notice
Yeah.
how he didn't pardon her.
No, no.
She could have refused. Remember, she refused Barr coming to see her. Because when Barr came to
Yeah.
see uh,
Yes.
Epstein, the
Epstein.
next day he was dead.
Yes. 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 Absolutely.
So when he went to
Yes.
go see her, she was screaming and yelling, "No, don't let him come and
No.
see me." She's
Yeah.
probably safer in jail than she would be out there.
I think that's what she thinks. And I mean, now she holds so many secrets.
Well, she's got some sort of will or something. I can see it as clear as day. If something happens to her, everything will be put out there.
Yeah.
There's no
It will be
holding back.
released. No. What does she have to lose at this point?
So if Musk was trying to call Trump, then that means he was going to put out a hand. He was going to do something.
Yes.
She was trying to make some amends.
to
but
make
he
peace.
blew it. He blew it when he threatened with the Epstein stuff. And then when he said he would have never won if it hadn't been for me, and we need
Yes,
somebody said you should impeach Trump, and yeah, he thought that was a good idea. And now Steve Bannon's in there like king for a day. But I'm
I
telling you,
know.
I can hear it, I can feel it. They're talking about we need to pull their security clearances
Yes,
because they can't
you're right.
trust anyone, not even Steve
That
Miller's wife.
I believe that. I feel like this is now seen as a big risk, and he has to cut off.
But enough pressure and enough leaked information will happen that I see him fearing for his life. And I do see them negating him having any kind of contracts with space. And once
Oh
they do
yes,
that to him, he feels like he kisses butt with some other country
he
and
can do
starts a new
that.
space program, maybe even China.
And then let's not forget about Starlink, like the internet communication and the information that went to Starlink. That's like a big thing.
Yeah. Oh, and also Putin offered for him, Elon Musk, to come to Russia. You can live here.
Because you remember in October 2024, before the election, Musk was at the Kremlin 3, 4 times a month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a connection there.
But the thing is, Putin is the type to get him under his wing, have him fall out a window, and then take all his money.
Of
You can't
course,
trust Putin as far as you can throw.
is money, is information, all the secrets. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point with Putin. What would Putin do? Because he smells an
I
opportunity.
think that guy that was in charge of Syria, what's his name?
Assad,
I
Assad,
think he's dead.
I feel he's in dead. I don't know he's dead, but I felt the pressure around him.
Oh,
He
because
thought
he
he
had
was safe in
billions.
Russia. No.
And that's the only reason Putin offered a helping hand because he could pay.
Yes.
You can't
The
trust
other thing, yeah, go ahead.
you can't trust Putin.
No, well, that's like clear. The other thing that I saw today in the news, Trump made $1 billion for the last 9 months in cryptocurrency. Crypto is something to follow very clearly. There's something I keep seeing like since last year, crypto and the value of the dollar, because all the US dollar keeps going down and down and down in value. And I felt like it's just trying to get the value of crypto up for his own benefit.
Yes. But let me tell you, crypto will crash. It might not be till next year, but it's going to crash.
I know. But he has more money in crypto than he has in properties at this point. So if it crashed,
Good. 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 But long term, do you see Elon dead or do you see him broke? I see charges coming up, like they're going to try to pull charges.
yes,
That's why he's escaping out of the country.
escaping out of the country and like big financial issues.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of money.
He has already just yesterday alone.
Yes. His stock market went up a little bit. Let me look. What's going on now? It's up 15 points. So it lost and now it's gaining again. It always does that. They
That's
say you
that.
can't trust the stock market.
No, especially right now. I have sometimes in consultations, people, should I invest here or there? At this time, we
You
can't
can't
tell
try.
you because
I
one day
advise
is
people
up, one
not.
day it's down.
I advise people not to move
Oh,
either because they're overcharging.
no.
Um,
What about
Go
what
ahead.
about the, well, specifically, there was a lot of questions specifically about, what Elon knows about the 2024 elections. So that's like a big chunk of this story.
He knows a
And
lot
that
because he'll implicate himself if he talks too much. Hey,
I
if
think
he
this,
gets run out of the United States, he may talk a lot
yes,
because that big New York thing's coming up right now. Let me tell you, they're going to be able to prove it was rigged.
yeah. And that might be some of it. I think it might be pieces of it, like of what happened, might be provided, like we said earlier, like to third parties, just to leak a little bit some of it, not the whole scheme, but
Right.
a few things. Yes.
Um, but there was a good question here. What do you think is going to happen? I've never looked at her with Linda McMahon, the one that thinks AI is A1 sauce. What's the outcome for her? I'll throw real quick.
Yeah, and she is more aware of her background is in wrestling.
If it's not picking a chair and throwing it at somebody, she don't know what to do.
Okay,
Trump
let's
doesn't
see.
care. He puts people in his favors. He just look. He doesn't want to create an appropriate place. He just wants to rule everything, and the rest are decorations.
Well, let's just start with the fact that he offered the job of head of education with the intention of killing the Department of Education. So that tells you,
He's. I don't know why they would. They must really think they'll be able to stop us from voting again. There's something there because they must know that America's not going to put up with this.
yeah,
Right? You know, he said I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue.
the new.
He said the price of eggs has dropped 400%. Such a liar. Oh my God, he
Yeah.
lies while breathing.
I mean, if you've been in, you know, in power now for 5 months, and that's the only bright side you come up with, that's
And
pretty
you lie
limited.
about it. And he always
Yes,
uses the words billions and billions.
yes.
Look at the outcome card.
Death.
Death.
I got the Five of Pentacles, so a sense of loss. Like it's both cards are endings.
I don't think it's physical death, but it's some news that will make her very unhappy. I'm telling you, once Trump is out, they're going in for the kill.
Yep.
So do you think a lot of the Democrats will be replaced, the ones that wanted Biden out, or will it make much of a difference?
Replace, you mean in the House or no, sorry, I
Re
didn't get the
yeah,
question.
replacing Congress or the Senate.
Rice? I don't think so.
You think they'll stay?
Yes.
Yeah. Because Biden's press secretary said she would leave the Democratic Party because of the ugliness that our own people did to our president. Remember, they said he needs to go, he's too
Yes.
old and all
I
that.
know, I know, I know. But I understand all that, but we're facing like something so tragic right now that it's like all hands on deck.
This is terrible, but you know what? My guys are always, when I go to react, they always say, this too shall pass.
Pass.
This too shall pass. And when Trump is pardoning people with money, are they giving them money? Duh.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could get a pardon.
I know.
Why do you think
Yes.
George Santos hasn't been pardoned?
It's money. And you and probably said the money needs to be in the bank by this date.
Yeah. If he handed Trump a couple mil, he would have been out no problem.
Yeah.
And he's a has-been. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't answer the phone. So do you have something you wanted to look at?
I have some questions from my people. So let's look at this question. Okay, that's a good one. Maria Salazar, a Republican from Florida, is set to introduce an immigration bill this month that would help lots of people without documentation already in the US. So she's a Republican. Will she be successful on passing the bill?
No,
No, I got a
not
no
yet.
too.
Not yet. Down
Yes.
the road, sweetie, don't give up. Down the
Yep.
road, all this is going to change. Somebody just said that they think that a major health crisis will happen to Trump around June 10th. I wouldn't doubt it because you know this stuff is affecting him now. He
Of
couldn't
course.
wait
I mean,
for the German chancellor to go.
no, the blood pressure was high. The, I mean, I've always said that. I've always said I see a surgery and I see him in a wheelchair.
Yeah, maybe he'll have a
And
fall.
I keep getting the pressure on the head. A stroke might very well be.
Do you know he's supposed to go see the people are saying what happened to who's the one that's in charge of China? What's his name?
She,
Yeah. But where is he? He hasn't been seen. Yeah, he has. And Trump just talked to him for an hour and a half the other day.
yes,
He's around, but I would consider it almost like Russia. Can you trust them with their food or
no,
whatever?
no. And Trump doesn't, that barely travels.
Something could happen.
And I feel part of the no travel is just concern about his health. There's just, I feel like they're aware that, yeah, if he travels to a foreign country and there's a health issue, this is just major drama. I think this is part of it.
Yeah. I've got to ask you while it's fresh on my mind.
Yes.
Do you think that doggone it, I just went blank. Damn it. We were talking about ah. Do you think that'll come out about the fake assassination attempt?
Oh, yeah.
I think Musk knows.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. I feel like it will come out. I think it might not be years and years, I feel.
I think it's everything's coming out. It's so much information. It's like I can see Trump melting.
But it's so, I mean, it's so interesting because really Musk has the upper hand, like in the match. What does Trump
But when
has
when
with the
when
contracts?
when Trump ignores him, what sign is Elon? Is he a Cancer?
I thought he was also a Gemini.
Okay.
Let me look. Yeah, let me check quickly. Keep going, Linda.
But I feel like when he ignores, and he's a spoiled brat, he can't stand, and he's one of those mean girls that would do everything he could to destroy Trump.
Yep,
I mean, while he was working for Trump, he's saying anybody that disagrees with us should be assassinated. What kind of language is that?
I know. You're right. He's a Cancer.
Okay. So he's a little whiny, you know what? But he's in his shell right now. He realized, oh
Yes.
shoot. But
We
as soon
should.
as he gets him some ketamine, he'll be all out there again.
I. You want to put a card on Musk right now? How he
Yes,
feels?
yes. Okay. Spiritually, psychically, emotionally up in the air.
And I got the Seven of Cups. Oh, sorry. Continue.
And
I'll go
and
with mine.
everything. He's going to lose everything, you guys. He's in the battle. He's military now. So go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, no, it makes sense. Seven of Cups to me, like that tells that he's high. Is like his mind is not in the reality. Ten of Wands is just too heavy, too much going on. Like
Yeah.
so, feeling the both of them feel extreme pressure.
Can we do a quick throw again on what happens to all the Doge employees? Is is Trump going to get rid of the Doge employees as we speak?
Employees, okay,
It
okay.
feels like it should happen. Like they're going to have to pull them and pull their security clearances because Trump can't trust what Musk will do now.
Are you
Yeah,
saying like
they're going to pull them. What do you feel?
though? Were you thinking like they would close Doge altogether, or getting rid of people, which is kind of the
Doge
same thing?
closing Doge and the people who are
Doge,
working on Doge.
yeah, yeah. Eight of Cups, so laws moving away, and then the Six of Swords, they're going somewhere else.
I think they already know what time of day it is. Some of them could have already packed their bags. I think they already know. Think about it. If your boss had a big fight with the president and
I
said
don't know.
shocking things, you just think, well, we better go.
Plus, I mean, Trump can't trust them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even if unless she's a double agent, Steve Miller's wife won't be allowed back in and then they'll
No.
really be on Steve Miller because they'll be saying you cannot converse with her about any high sensitive stuff because she might
No.
tell him.
Yes, of course.
So, what other questions you got?
Uh, moving a little bit away from Trump and Musk was about the one second. Yellowstone. So this is from Deborah Johnson. She said she read an article today about how Yellowstone, Mount Hood, and Mount Rainier all are connected through underground lava flow. So is there a potential eruption? Yellowstone, Mount Hood, and Mount Rainier all connected underground through lava flow. Is there an eruption coming soon?
Well, there's a good sized one coming many years away, but there's another volcano that's erupting as we speak. I can't think of where the location is because we've got Sicily
Yeah.
and we've
Yes.
got
Etna.
Hawaii. There's another one erupting. And I see Yellowstone, and I see an eruption, but it's not going to be the Armageddon one.
Hmm.
That one will happen. Maybe I'm wishing for it, but the guides would show me Armageddon. They're saying no. They're saying, and one of the first things they said when I did the 2025, one of the first things they said was there's going to be a lot of volcanic eruptions, like the one in Oregon underwater.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think this is like a huge, huge one, but Yellowstone to energetically like feel like there's some pressure
Yeah.
there. Um, so not I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, and it's not a big, big one. There was another question, shifting gears a little bit. We were talking before the show about Ukraine, just a word on Ukraine. And so there was the big attack on Russia. So this is a question about is there more to come? Are
Well,
there more
Russia hit
actions? Yes.
civilian Kiev. They've hit
Yes.
civilian. Of course,
Yes.
that's how they roll. They hurt
Yes.
people. They don't hurt military compounds. In the meantime,
Uh,
today, Ukraine has hit a couple of military compounds. I'm telling you, I don't know why. I've always felt that Kiev, not Kiev, that Ukraine would be the winner.
yes. Uh,
But
yes.
I keep seeing something bad happening to Putin. I don't know if he's killed
Oh
or they
yeah.
do something. But let me tell you, you think you were shocked about those drones? He's got more up his sleeve.
Yes, yes. And those ones were like prepared like a year ago and they
Yeah.
was kept under cover. And so I feel like there's more stuff
Well,
coming,
why do you think
especially
he's, go ahead.
yeah, especially like Germany said it was gave the green light for the attacks. So that opens the door.
And you can't tell Trump because he'll blab. But
Yes.
why do you think Zelensky announced that Putin's days are numbered? Remember a couple of
Oh, I
months
didn't.
ago? Yeah,
No,
he
I don't
said
remember that.
Putin's about ready to be taken out, which just makes Putin even more paranoid than he already is.
I feel like this is coming from intelligence, something wrong with Putin. Either his health or there's some
I heard his
internal,
health isn't good. Yeah.
yes, the heart particularly.
Ukraine will be
Yes.
victorious. You and as some sort of peace agreement will come up, but I think it's
Yes.
after Putin's gone. I think Putin goes
Ah,
out and I see whoever's taking over coming in and
whatever.
saying, can we shake hands on it? Will give us time to rebuild?
I feel this can happen this year, in within the next 6 months.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you, I
I feel.
always felt he was getting ready to have to
Yeah,
go. I love it.
yes. I mean, that would be, we would turn the page on that.
And be so
We want to
proud of
turn
the
we
Ukrainian
want
people.
to turn the page on Putin, Trump,
And
Netanyahu,
then while
turn the
Trump's in
page.
office, he's not going to help Ukraine, but I see a lot of money coming in from all nations. Ukraine will be part of the EU.
Yeah.
I see money coming in, rebuilding. I think in my lifetime, within the next 4 years, I'd be able to take a nice little vacation to Ukraine.
Yes, why not?
I want to feel the vibration of that
Yes.
country because that what a beautiful country.
And the spirit is very high, and I mean, we have to admire the resistance
Yes.
mindset.
And we've got the new Pope that's 100% for them. And Mother Mary shows up there all the time. They're
And
having
Archangel
sightings of
Michael,
her.
lots of
And
angels in
UFOs.
Kiev.
UFOs are
Yes,
always around.
yes,
We
that's
got your back,
beautiful.
Ukraine.
Yes, yes,
And the other one I
good.
feel that's getting ready to go pretty soon is Netanyahu.
That there's a lot of pressure internally, protests as well. And there's something happening like with the United Nations, more countries recognizing the state of, of Palestine.
Oh, good, good.
Yes, yes, I can see that. So I feel like that's gonna put a certain pressure for peace.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yes.
that guy that bombed in Colorado, that Egyptian man that put that gasoline and I do not agree with that. They were
Oh
doing a
no,
peaceful march for their brethren that was kidnapped. And then he does some,
no.
and here's the thing, somebody was mentioning on the news today. He did all those no fly, you can't come here for all these countries except Egypt.
Yes, yes,
And Egypt is a brutal country. It's run by very,
yes.
very corrupt military.
Corrupt. There's also like something, it's corrupt. It's corrupt with Trump. There's some money
Oh, they
aspects
gave him a
here.
bunch of money
Yes.
for his inauguration. They gave him 10 million or something like that.
I mean, I understand, of course, what happened with Colorado and this needs to be stopped, etc. But the travel ban, Colorado was just an excuse for the travel ban. There's a lot more that he's doing because that travel ban is not new. That was already done during the first Trump administration. So it's just redoing the same thing that was stopped by the court.
And he doesn't touch Egypt at all.
No. So
Interesting.
there's something there, and I feel like it connect with the crypto because he's thinking money, is thinking crypto.
Interesting.
Yes, there's more there.
Oh, you guys, I'm going to put as you know, I don't do personal readings anymore. And I'm going to put, I've recommended you for a lot of people. I'm sure you've told you.
I know, I know. Because I
Anyway,
asked, how did you hear? And they said, from Linda, from
yeah.
Linda, from Linda.
But anyway, and there's other good ones too, but I'm going to put his information on the bottom of this video. So you
Thank you.
guys can just click that. Be sure to join his YouTube. And he's got wonderful classes. Somebody was just asking me about classes. She's kind of an
Oh,
up and coming new medium. And I said, look at Nathe, because I thought you did classes like that.
yes, I do. And I will do more. Actually, that's what I'm the most passionate with is helping people build their own abilities
Yeah,
and
that's my
trusting
purpose
themselves
too.
more.
My
Yes,
purpose isn't necessarily teaching because I'm not a teacher, but I like the idea of exposing people, getting them out there.
yes. And particularly like, building a relationship with your own guides or your tools that is unique to you, that you cannot learn from a book, that has to come from you.
Yeah,
What it means to you, it's what it means to you.
yeah.
And once you develop that, you develop your intuition. When you develop your intuition, then you start to get messages, and then it just keeps going.
Have you gotten any deep hits or are you a little wiped out because of all this chaos?
Um, Recently, like deep, like something big, no.
Well, I know
Recently,
that
no.
there's going to be a lot of chaos and demonstrations because of
Hmm.
this bill they're going to pass.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I
Um,
feel like because he does this, I know this is terrible to say because so many people are going to be hurt, but because he does this, it's the end for him.
yeah.
Wait, you're not even going to give the rich a 2% tax
Uh,
increase, but the rest of y'all can eat cake.
Logically, it makes, I mean, morally, of course, it makes no sense, but logically, it makes no sense either. Economically, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
If people, I mean, that's like the part I never understood, Linda. If you want the economy to run for, including for rich people, people need to have money to buy things. If they don't have money to buy things, the economy is tanking. Even the rich are not getting money.
yeah. And this whole, I thought a court said he can't do, does not have the legal right to do these tariffs. And then they had a stay
Yes.
on it, and he's still doing the tariffs, and they're raising the prices of everything. Oh, it's terrible.
That is the worst part because it's gonna show up in everyday life, like buying a dishwasher, buying a washing machine. It,
Yes, you better hope it does. In fact, I got a guy coming out to do my dishwasher. Fortunately, it's some part that they can replace.
well, parts too, right? They
Yeah,
come
that's true.
from
But it's not a part that it works. It's just the roly part on
it.
the top shelf. I can still do my dishes and it doesn't wobble too much. So I'm very lucky.
Good.
But how's Portugal doing with the weather?
Oh, very good. It's very warm and sunny right now. Politically, it's very challenging, like in the rest of Europe, where there's kind of like, more increase from the right side, extreme right, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see this wave that you see in France, in Germany, in the UK.
And all
It's
of them want
it's
what do you call? Not illegals. What do you call? They all want them out of the country. They don't want,
yeah,
Scotland. When I was in Scotland, you couldn't go to a restaurant or a store that didn't have natives from India or Pakistan working those because Scottish people don't work after 5
no, it's the same thing everywhere. You have people that come from overseas or come
and work hard.
immigrants would do and work very hard and do hard labor jobs. And
Yeah,
so it's really sad to see countries that weren't hit before by this wave of racism and
yeah.
xenophobia. And but I think this is why we're all connected, because we all feel the same problems in many, many parts of the globe. And we're feeling the same problem in different ways. But I think spiritually, this is where everything's come to a head. And then
Right.
we have to clear this mess. Yes.
And with well, just like World War II, it changed a lot of people.
Yes. You
It
see
was
things
pretty ugly.
differently.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, and so I think this will connect with, freedom in Ukraine, change the dynamics in
Oh, it's going to be
Europe.
wonderful.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I was watching this part two of the World War II series that not Steve Burns, Kevin Burns did for PBS. I own it. And that they said that when Russia first went in and saw those camps and described those camps, President Eisenhower and the one who was in charge of the UK, Winston Churchill,
Gotcha.
told the press not to release that because they didn't believe, they thought they over exaggerated. And then British and American military went in and were shocked. It was totally true.
Yes.
General MacArthur made the people in the town come and see for themselves and help
Wow.
bury these poor people.
Yeah.
But it was true what they're doing. And listen, Elon Musk, yeah, we're all excited about, but you know what? He's not a good man at all. A lot of people are
No.
dying in his name. Children.
They're both hyper narcissists fighting, ego fighting in front of the whole world. When you think about it, kind of supposedly the richest man in the world and the man with the most power in the world fighting.
Yeah.
It's just really ugly, really, really
But that's
ugly.
how they roll. That's who they are.
Yes.
It's ugly, but it's not surprising, is it?
No.
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 They're putts.
And they won't let go, and they have complete irrational reactions.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets interesting and somewhat fun, because it gets irrational and you just don't know what's going to come out of it. It's like everything's possible already at this point.
Exactly.
While it's very difficult time for all of us, I feel, but in a certain way, it's interesting to follow, because we could have never thought seeing something like this
I know.
a few years ago.
Total shock.
Yes.
Well, listen, my friend, unfortunately, I have another show to do with Sherry.
Oh yes, yes. Well, say hi from me.
I
I
sure
actually
will.
do a collab with her tomorrow.
Okay.
So
So I got to have enough time to switch out and get myself something.
yes.
But
Well,
thank you so much. And then, of course, we'll talk in a minute when I come off here. We'll plan
and
something
thank
for
you
me to be on your show.
for having me. It was a pleasure to be with you and your beautiful community. So thank
Thank
you.
you, honey. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Bye bye.